Hi family, my name is Clem de la Creme. Thank you for being here with me right now. So yesterday was my 4th day of school, and it was my first day of my Intro to DJ course. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to take it, because I've been DJing for years, and so part of me was thinking, well, what am I gonna learn in an intro course? And should I be there? Maybe I should just cancel it and change to a different class, or maybe I should take a higher level DJ course. But I showed up yesterday to that class, and in class the teacher is a very well-known DJ from the UK scene, and so he had to give a whole class to people at a whole variety of different stages. There are people who've never touched turntables or controllers or CDJs or anything. And then there are people like myself and a few others who, we've been DJing for some years. And so it's the first class, and the teacher has to go and explain all the different connectors and reasons why you should check for certain things and how to do certain things, that a handful of us are, we're paying attention and listening, but there's also a little part inside that's, antsy, and I want to get to it, and I want to get on some turntables, But the room had stations all over, and there were some stations that had CDJs and different levels of CDJs too, many different models and different mixing models for different mixers. And there were also, turntables, and I started off on a controller when I started learning how to DJ. And there was one of my friends who used to make fun of me, and he called me Clem de la Controller. But hey, that's where I started, So I say start with what you have, where you're at, with whatever that is. And so I started with my controller back then, and later on moved on to turntables. And I practiced on turntables, and I got a residency, and I was using, vinyl turntables. But when it came to CDJs, I didn't have a ton of experience. And so when I'd go to certain venues and I was playing on CDJs, in the back of my head, most people, they play on CDJs and they get nervous about playing on vinyl, or sometimes even controllers, because they're used to just the CDJs. But that was not the case for me, because those are the ones that I didn't have tons of experience on. I was like, okay, CDJs are what I want to learn. So I started off on the CDJs yesterday on one set of them. And then, it's a classroom full of people. And so we're all playing through our headphones, because if you have a bunch of monitors, then sounds are all gonna be clashing. Nobody's gonna be able to mix anything or enjoy the music. But there's one station that's set up with the monitors, and the guy who was on that station, before the break, he's like, what? I actually don't know if this is. Let me use the other CDJs. And so I was excited, because that meant I got to play on his monitors. He asked me, hey man, you want to switch with me? And I was like, heck yes, I want to switch with you. And it, let me just listen to it on speakers and get my mixing going. And oh my God, it was like a fish in water. I missed this. I haven't been playing since September, and right now it's January. When I moved, I gave away my controller. I packed my turntables to bring them with me, but they were on a Chinese power supply, and I didn't get a chance to arrange them to be fixed because I was constantly in and out of town, and the person who was willing to fix them, I never got the turntables to them so that way they could switch out the power supplies, and also they weren't 100% sure, what I needed. They need to see them, and I never made it possible for them to see them because I didn't bring the turntables to them. For those of you that don't know, turntables are heavy, and if you don't have help, then it's difficult, and you don't want to ruin them and whatnot. But someone mentioned to me about possibly getting a power inverter, and I was kicking myself in the head when I realized, maybe I could have gotten a power inverter and that could have worked. But it doesn't matter. Basically, I haven't touched turntables in months, and so yesterday when I was back on there, I was like, a kid in a candy store, and I was having too much fun. I'm looking forward to it because, you know, there's venues all over London and I want to play in some of these venues. So I'm, you know, in the next few weeks, I'm gonna start getting some gigs and, or at least putting myself out there. And hopefully those gigs show up and people, you know, like what I'm doing and they want to give me some opportunities. But many of you also know that I am an MC. And I also like to drop my own tracks. And so I'm there, you know, with my songs or speakers, and I drop my track Moving Out, or the instrumental for it, which is a Maya Hawthorne instrumental. And I've got my live version of that song coming out on Monday, the 20th, January 20th, 2020, what's up? And I'm like, I'm feeling it, and I start rapping my verse. And then this girl who's at the station next to me, Tallulah, DJ Tallulah, she starts singing and she's got this amazing voice and is going along with it. And our teacher's here and he's like, yo, we should work on something. And I feel that too. It just feels good, like when you're feeling the music and vibing with it and there's just good musicians around you and people who've got good energy around you. So I'm looking forward to hopefully collaborating with them. But yeah, so in that class, I learned a few different techniques. I got to get more experience using CDJs and just like playing around and having some fun, and learned a couple different transitions that, you know, maybe I knew about them, but I never fully appreciated them and didn't understand some of the reasonings behind using some of them. So that was really helpful. And, you know, I'm looking forward to using those in future sets. But my teacher was like, man, we got to get you on some vinyls and we got to change some stuff up because I want to teach you some other things. So, yeah, I really appreciate that the teacher saw all of us and he made it kind of not tailored to each of us, but he, you know, wants us all to be able to learn at the level we're at, and he wants to be able to help us grow. So, you know, shout out to all the teachers, no matter what you're teaching, who are good teachers and who care about their students, you know, because those teachers help give me the joy for those subjects. You know, the subjects that really where the teacher was in love with what they were doing, they wanted to help and they wanted to encourage you, those are the ones that always got me the most amped and the most driven. And if it's in an area that you like, that also increases that even that much more. So, you know, when it's art and music classes and things like that, to me, if my teacher loves it, then I really love it. And so it was a good day in class. And I had a little surprise where, well, we'll pause, we'll get to that in 1 second. I wasn't able to book studio time using the online, basically their online platform. And it was frustrating me because I'm like, oh, I got here to class, and my friend back home, Jody, she's like, yo, have you booked any studio sessions yet, man? And I'm like, man, I'm trying to, but the online thing's not working. And so I was like, he just reminded me that I need to do something about that. You know, I got to get that fixed. So I went to the office and they got it sorted for me. And then I met several people yesterday. I had a few friends from China and I had a few friends from Chicago. You know, some of these friends I haven't seen in 15 years. So, you know, with some we went and we made some mapo tofu, and then went off to the jazz bar to meet the others and had a good time just there, like listening to some really good live music. I love live music. It helps like get me, you know, vibing and inspired myself. But just being there in a crowd of people and like a bunch of people just there moving and, you know, and feeling it, you know, that's special. So that was cool. And then all my friends kind of went their separate ways, and I ended up coming back home and going online to check about, you know, all right, well, when do I want to book studio time? And I looked online, and today's Friday and it's my day off. And so I was like, you know what? I need to book some studio time tomorrow if they have any. So I look and the whole day's booked except for first thing in the morning, 9:30 a.m. And I'm like, oh man, I wasn't planning on being anywhere at 9:30 a.m. other than, you know, maybe in the next room making some coffee. But if that's what's open, that's what we're gonna work with. And I got home late last night. I didn't go to sleep till probably, excuse me, maybe 3. I didn't get sleep till about 3 a.m. And then I woke up at 6 a.m. And because I was worried about missing my scheduled slot that I had booked online, I was like, all right, I'm staying up. So didn't have a ton of sleep last night. But I get to the studio and I had booked 2 rooms. I booked the recording room and the main room. I'm like blanking on the lingo right now. but there's the main sound room, and I've got the computers up, and I brought my own microphone, and my microphone doesn't work with their stand. And because I didn't have another person there with me with the room that I booked, I wasn't going to use 2 rooms. So there's 2 different main rooms. There's only 1 vocal room. And so I told the other people who were using the other room, I was like, hey, if you guys need to use the vocal room, feel free, because I'm not really using it since I'm just one person. I'm probably just going to record in the 1 room. And so I got my microphone set up, and I was having issues trying to connect the Apollo, I think it's called a Thunderbolt, but I couldn't get it working, and I didn't know why. I was like checking the different chords and checking the signal flow, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I thought, I was like, I'm like snapping my fingers next to the microphone here, and I'm noticing that there's like something happening. I can see that there's not that it's acknowledging the noise, but that it's receiving the noise, and that it's coming through. But it's not coming through strong. It's not always coming through. I was confused. And then as I'm playing around, I realized, the way I have it connected, my headphones are set up as a microphone. And so I was like, well, I'm not trying to record through my headphones, so I got to get this figured out and sorted. And I realized I couldn't do it by myself, so I went and I asked them to help show me how to use the equipment real quick. And I had been doing everything right, but there was one button that I didn't allow to stay pushed because it was a condenser mic, so it needed a phantom power supply, so I needed to turn that on and get that going. But I changed the inputs, and it was all good to go. But the people in the other room, they had issues with their stuff, and so they came by and like, hey man, like, what are you recording? How long are you gonna be here? Because we kind of need to use the studio. And I was working on the outro to the Africa and Asia mixtape, and I just got like an outline of it done, but just the English, I need to get it all properly translated in Chinese so I can say it. And I was like, if I can get this done maybe in like 15 minutes, guys. But I recorded the rough, and they came by like, hey, you finished it? But then they just want to hang out, so we ended up just like sharing our music with each other. And the one dude, he's a producer from Colombia, and he's just starting to get into the DJ scene, and so I helped him connect him to some people who are looking for DJs for an open mic next week. And he shared some tracks. He's got some really good tracks and some stuff that would go great in the club, and at some festivals too. He's really inspired by Avicii, and it comes through in his music, like you can hear it. But I'm blanking on his name right now. If you follow me on Instagram and you're seeing this right as I post it, then check it. He's in my stories. I linked one of the songs you showed me earlier. And then there was another guy from Spain, but I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now either. And he's just getting started on his music journey, and so he will have things to share with the rest of us soon. But I got to connect with some new people and had some fun there. And then I just did them a rough of a verse for a song I'm working on called Blessings, and they were digging the vibe, and so it always feels good when someone digs and appreciates your music and what you're creating. But when you're there with other people and you're having a good time, the time flies, and so it was almost time for my studio time to be up. So I'm like, all right, it was good to hang and talk, but you gotta go because I only got 30 minutes left in here, and I gotta lay down a couple verses and just use the last time, then clean up the microphones and whatnot. So they left, and I took care of that. But I'm still loving it here in London, and I'm loving my school and the people. I just get to meet such really good people, and people who are excited about the same things I'm excited about. And yeah, not too much else. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing this weekend yet. I might try to book more studio time and look online in a bit, and I gotta look for the next week or two and see which of my teachers have like one-to-one sessions, so I can share my work and get the outside input from people who know what they're talking about, which is also a bonus of being in school. So heck yeah, I love it. But yeah, I'm here, and I want to take advantage of as much things that school has to offer, because I'm here, and I'm here. Anyways, it's Friday. I gotta go meet with some people, but I love you, and I hope you're having a great day. Have a great weekend. But yeah, I'll keep y'all updated on more stuff with my life here as a student. But yeah, my name is Clem de la Creme. I'm here to help inspire people to feel and share love. And yeah, that's what I got. I love you. Peace.